So what happened after you was a loan officer for 3 years? What was next?
Then I started paying attention to what the commission was for a real estate agent. Because I would see that I had to read the documents, what we call a settlement statement, and I kept seeing these nice checks, and I was working real hard as a loan officer to get half of what that commission check was. So I decided to go to real estate school, get my license, and I was a loan officer when I became a real estate agent, and I was doing both sides.
Okay. All right. Great stuff. Talk about the beginning days of becoming a real estate agent. How was that? What was the experience? And
well, Atlanta was booming. I'm just out of college. I was 24 when I started as a real estate agent. So I was always networking in the community. I already was volunteering in the community. All my friends were at that age where they were getting married, having kids, and buying real estate. So my name was out there. I knew I always make sure I'm on top of my game as far as knowledge and knowing my business.
Okay.
So I took extra courses to make sure that I knew more than the next person. And by the fact that I used to be a loan officer and now I'm a real estate agent, I know both sides.
Yeah. Right stuff.
Skilled negotiator. So I was the only black female in my office when I first started as a mortgage lender. And when I became a real estate agent, I started off with a very small self-owned real estate company. Then I moved to the new construction. I didn't like that because you kind of like 9 to 5 when you work new construction. And then I moved into working for a larger, well-known national real estate company. And after I saw what they were collecting from me, I started my own.
There you go. All right. So the year that you started Cox & Company, what year was that?
So I started Cox & Company 2005. I was at home pregnant with my second child, and it was like, you got to sit in bed. And I was like, I'll sit in bed and do real estate courses. So I took my broker's course and started Cox & Company in 2005.
Okay.
So we just celebrated our 21st anniversary.
Congratulations. Absolutely. I love it. Okay. Let's talk about when you first started the company, Kim, the experience when you first started the company. Like, how was that when starting the company? Let's talk maybe about some of the challenges you may have had, to, of course, any successes. And then I know you say you started in 2005 and you had 2008, which was a few years later, and we know what happened around that time. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah. So when I first started my real estate company, I mean, I was already coming from another company. So I just brought, first of all, my clients to my company and already had like a referral base and everything like that. All I needed to know was what was the process to start the company. To me, it wasn't that hard to start a company. It's harder to actually maintain a company, keeping up with the legalities of recording escrow accounts and making sure your agents take all the classes they need to take to keep their license and also beneficial to you, as well as being able to report to the commissioner things that they request every year. Because I'm a very detailed person, anal in some parts, so I was always on top of my paperwork, making sure that. Now, of course, when 2005 is really when the bubble started bursting, I saw that prices were increasing. They were out of control. You can get a dead dog loan, a mortgage loan. I knew then that something was going on. I've always been involved in politics. Like I said, my major in college was political science. So I always knew what was going on at the Capitol in order to know what was going on in real estate. So ahead of the game, I knew it, and we started having a lot more agents that were attending open houses. They were having time for that, and I was like, okay, something is wrong.
Yeah,
we're about to have a problem. So by 2007, loans were failing. Loans were failing. People were going into short sale and foreclosure, or what some people call pre-foreclosure. At that point, I knew I had to adjust what I was doing. So I started actually doing foreclosure counseling. So I became a HUD certified counselor
Yeah.
to counsel people who were going into foreclosure. And then I got a contract where I was helping people that were having short sales, which is pre-foreclosure.
Right.
Helping those people that now were losing their homes to be able to get out of their home with the least amount of hit to their credit, because they're selling their houses for a discounted amount
Right.
just to get out, offering under it, which caused them to be able to buy another house, in a shorter period of time.
Okay. So yeah, you pivoted pretty much.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
And that's what real estate, with the real estate industry, it's based on what's going on in our world. Like
Yeah.
real estate leads everything.
Right.
Like the stock market, it leads the stock market.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. All right. So over these last years of running Casa Company, Kim, how's things been going with the business? As well as over these last years, have there been any challenges or anything new that's taken place in real estate that you may want to speak on over these last years?
Yeah, so I'm sure we've had probably about 2 or 3 pivots in real estate. The market is forever changing, and you really have to keep up with where we are in the market. So when COVID hit, so we had the bubble burst, and then after that was COVID.
Right.
So COVID, I was for sure that we were about to go under. Like, people are not going to be buying a house. They can't even get outside. Well, a lovely surprise was the market boomed after that. I know why, but I'm not going to say why.
Yeah.
But a lot of people had extra money.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people had extra money.
Yeah.
And so they bought more real estate. And because you got more money need to be spent. So prices went up. So now my commission check go up and I sell more houses.
Yeah.
So when 2020 hit, I probably stopped working for 3 weeks. And then after that, I put on gloves and footies and masks, and I went and continued to show houses. And a lot more people were buying and were able to buy because they had extra money.
Hello, this is G Bass, Rise of the 1%, Rise Media. We on this Saturday evening about to get ready to knock out some podcast episodes with some individuals here in the city of Atlanta making some big moves. You can see here, look, this is how it goes down. Here when our guests come and sit down with myself, G Bass, other Rise of 1% of Rise Media, to have that conversation, to share the story, share the journey, share what you got going on. So listen, everybody got a story, everybody got a journey, and then you got some things going on, then you definitely can get with us and see if it'll be a fit to be on the Rise of 1% podcast and actually have that discussion with myself. It's going to be a link to a form you can fill out. You said www.theriseofthe1%.com/pod form. Again, www.theriseofthe1%.com/pod form. It's going to be in this video. You can fill that out, and we can see if there'll be a fit for you to come on and have that conversation with myself. If you don't fill out the form, then obviously it's not for you, and that's fine. We're looking for those that's serious. Those that's serious about rising to the top 1% are already in the 1%. That's what we're looking to sit down with myself right here. As you can see, Rise Media, Rise of the 1%. This is how we get down. We have a great time and have a lot of fun doing it. So once again, if you're serious, make sure you fill out the form. We'll look over the form, see if it's a fit. If it's a fit, we'll reach out. If not, we won't reach out. We'll just continue to move forward. But with that said, this is G Bass. See you soon. Have a great one on purpose.